Hey everybody, so I just wanted to do this video really quickly because it was easier for me to explain on camera than it was to type what my magazine cover was all about. So clearly I'm a stay-at-home mom, I'm a homeschooling mom, I'm a wife, and if you followed me at all, then you know me, you know my story. And I wanted to do this for a couple of reasons. So I was raised in a way where you were taught to go to school, get a good education so you can get a great job. And it was instilled in me to strive, to achieve, to want to be acknowledged, to want to to go up some ladder, whether it was a corporate ladder or a business ladder. But the accolades and the acknowledgments that I have gotten along my journey, primarily once you left academia, the acknowledgments usually had to do with profession, and no knock at that at all. But one of the things that became really tough for me when I transitioned from being focused on my career or focused on what I wanted to do for a living to now being 100% focused on my family, our children, my husband, was a feeling of kind of like worthlessness. And it might sound crazy because it's real easy for people to be like, you know, your children are so important and raising your kids are important. And I believe that that a lot of people think that. At the same time, our current day society acknowledges the business world and the professional world. And again, I get it. I get that. But sometimes that can have an internal impact on you. Well, at least let me talk about me. It had an internal impact on me because it would constantly make me question if I was selling myself short. And sometimes it would have me, I would allow it to cause me to feel less than, or like I wasn't good enough or wasn't as accomplished as someone else, right? And so many of you who went to Hampton with me or went to Hampton University, period. I don't know. I'm sure other colleges probably do the same thing, but at the school that I graduated from, they have this thing called the 40 under 40. And before I even went to, before we started even doing, they started doing that, or I knew they were doing that, I've seen 30 under 30 lists and all different types of things. And I used to always want to be like on the, like the business journals, 30 under 30. You know, who doesn't want to be acknowledged for something, right? So once the 40 under 40 stuff started to come to play, I remember kind of looking at it and being like, dang, you know, all of the people who, for the most part, that I scanned through. I didn't read through everything, so maybe they did acknowledge some moms and dads or whatever. I don't know. But all in all, when I would look at it, it would be like, dang, it seems like the only way that you could be a part of this list is if you did something professionally. Now, I'm not knocking anybody who got acknowledged. And I know that a lot of the people who were on the 40 under 40 did a lot for their communities too. So I hope that no one watches this and thinks that I'm hating or anything like that. I'm giving you my perspective of how it impacted me, you know, personally. I would sit and look like, wow, you know, is the only way to have this type of impact equaling acknowledgement, is the only way to get this acknowledgement through profession, through career. And I was like, man, like, who's acknowledging people who maybe they chose to step away from their career to tend to their family. That to me is equally important, in some cases, if not more important, because people who take on the role full time of raising their kids are their children will be contributing to society one day. Well, all kids will. But we still indirectly have impact, right? And it's already kind of hard enough when you're well, at least for me, being a stay-at-home parent has been really tough, also because of the disconnect from the professional world. You know what I mean? So I think that things like depression and things like that can easily creep in if you're not careful, because you do become isolated. At least you can become isolated, especially if you're in a place where you have not really accepted or leaned into the fact that you are a stay-at-home parent or mother, and really seeing how valuable your role is. And so I would, a lot of times I was like, okay, before I turn 40, this sounds crazy, but before I turn 40, I will go back into the professional world, or I will do so much entrepreneurially with me and my husband. Is entrepreneurially a word? I don't know. But I will do so much where I'll make that 40 under 40 list, right? Even though a part of it also is people nominating you. So I'll do so much where I'll get on that list because I just want to be acknowledged. And then I had to pull back and be like, why? Why do you want to be acknowledged so much? Like, what is it? And when I started doing the digging, I realized that a lot of it connected back to what I said initially. The way that I was raised, the way that I was taught, which was not a bad thing per se, but I just, there is a big part of what I was taught to do as an adult professionally, that you kind of graded it against what others thought. And that was when I had to pull stuff back and be like, okay, you have to learn how to grade yourself with what you think. What do you think about being a stay-at-home mom? Honestly, Carrie, what do you think about being a homeschooling mom? What do you think about putting your career on the back burner and really, really focusing on your family life? Like, what do you think about that? And before you answer that, are you in a state where you can even think about it and judge it fairly? So I really started looking at people. One of my friends who went to Hampton as well, Jamia. Jamia, if you're watching this, I love you. I admire you. You are one of the moms that come to mind when I'm having a tough moment. One of my friends, Tia, we're all stay-at-home moms and wives, and I look at how they lean in to their role, and I'm like, there is value here. This matters. When my kids come and they see me every day and I'm working with them and I see them develop, and I hear how they develop, and I get the compliments from people. We get the compliments from people, and we see the impact that me being here has. I'm like, that does matter. That does matter too. So I decided before my 40th birthday that I was going to have my own 40 under 40. And it would have been really cool if I could have had a real list of more than just me, but I didn't plan it that far in advance. But I said, I'm gonna be on my own 40 under 40 list. And I hope that it just lets people who chose the career route or a different route know that, we just because we didn't choose to stay that course doesn't mean that we're less than. Not saying that anybody has said that, but just, you know, it's okay if y'all acknowledge us. We won't be mad at you. But more importantly, because everybody has their own community and their own family, so it's all good. If I want to be acknowledged for being a stay-at-home mom, I join a stay-at-home mom group, which I've done, you know. But more importantly, I just want to encourage any other stay-at-home parent, especially a stay-at-home mom, to embrace your role and to know that your role really, really does matter. Being a parent in general, I think, is an unthinkable job. Being a mom is really an unthinkable job, and I think that being a stay-at-home mom is really unthinkable. Like, it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to encourage other stay-at-home moms to keep going. You're doing a great job. You are truly, truly appreciated. If I knew who you were, I'd put you on my list of 40 under 40, 30 under 30, 50 under 50, whatever. If you have a down day, just know that you matter. You matter too. You matter too. So that's my explanation there. Again, I hope that it's not offensive to anyone, or no one takes it personally or in a negative way. That said, if someone does, that's something that they're going to have to carry. But this was something that I wanted to do for myself. And so now I feel like I can officially walk into being 40. And even though it's after midnight, I technically am not 40 yet because I was born at 9:27 p.m. So I still got a little bit of time, still 39. But this was something that I wanted to do for me and for you other stay-at-home moms out there. So from my heart to yours, you are truly, truly appreciated. All right. See you guys later. Hope that you understood the sentiment of my message. Oh, don't mind how I sound. I have my Invisaligns in, so I know it sounds like I'm tripping over my teeth. All right, y'all. I'll check you out later. Bye.